So you always knew that Bibby and Herb were like make it type shit. So like set this tone of when Nicki Minaj like hopped on Chirac.
No, I ain't know they was gonna make it like that. I knew they was gonna get big though. Like I ain't gonna lie, like Bibby started rapping like later on down the line. I like a little after, but he always let me hear. Like he ain't never let nobody else hear. Just let me hear before he started rapping. This to this. I'm like, yeah, that's decent. But he was on some shit. Never let nobody hear. Like he'd just rap for me and shit. Then one day I just told him like, man, rap that shit for the guys, let them hear that shit. And then he just started rapping and shit. But I think it was like, what year that was? That was like 13 or 14. It was that summer. I had seen them on 106. I'm like, damn, this shit really real. So you ain't never just get on 106. Like that's like us, like certain niggas like looking at your show or looking at any big ass platform, like probably looking at your like Jerry Springer or something. Like, damn, man, I ain't gonna never get on there. And then finally get on here and be like, yeah, like that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah,
like to the hood.
Sometimes people come in and you can feel that energy that they just like cannot believe that they're here. Yeah. Like you're used to shit. So you know you didn't really like geek out or anything, but like sometimes you can really feel it coming out of somebody like, oh yeah, damn, like this is a huge deal to them, you know?
Yeah, I know the nigga y'all just interviewed before I just came.
Oh yeah, he was tripping.
Who y'all talking about?
The sauce dude that Flacco interviewed.
No, I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. The one who I just laughed at.
Oh, Trenches?
Oh. Yeah, he was pretty geeked. He was hyped.
What's your thoughts on Trenches News then? I know you've been seeing the paperwork, everybody saying that Trenches News is probably the cooperator or one of the people who cooperated on Duck's case. You believe that?
I talked to him about that shit though. I had sent it to him.
And what'd he say to you?
He said, what the fuck did he say? He tried to switch some shit around. Hey, him, me, and AK-47, they did some whole weird shit. I'm like, bro, what is he on? He sent some shit like, I sent him the shit and he responded like 3 days later. I'm like, damn, what's this shit? They saying you the police. He like, bro, man, I ain't no police. You gonna see when it really come out. And I'm like, I ain't really taking shit. I don't really get no fuck. I just want to know is like, did you really cooperate with the police? Like, that ain't my place to be saying your ass a snitch. Like, I don't really know you for doing no street shit or killing nobody or like to like fault you for snitching. Like, I really look at a lot of motherfuckers like that as hell. So for him to like be like on some blog and shit, he probably got carried away and just wanted to volunteer some information. You never know. I don't know.
Carried away though. It's like, why are you even in that position?
Is that like, yeah, like that's just like trap lore, like niggas like him, like it's a million motherfucker. Like watch this interview. I mean, watch this documentary he making about y'all. He making you look like a killer on here. Like he like did some whole crazy shit with saying like you started this shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching that shit, bro. He's saying British and some weird shit. I'm not watching that.
I
crazy
talked to
shit.
Charlo Ross and he definitely had questions for you too. So you never seen the documentary?
I probably watched like 5 minutes of that shit. Then I was getting a tattoo. My tattoo man like, you ain't seen this shit? I'm like, bro, he really tripping on it. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching that shit, bro. That shit too long and he irritating. That shit sound crazy that he was talking.
You don't like the accent?
Hell no, bro. I'm like, fuck, where is he from? Like, why is you even saying our name? Like, then it's like he one of them people that'd be like, for why is you saying shit that's making us look like killers? Like, even if niggas is killers, who the fuck is you to like make a whole story about somebody? Like, why the fuck would you speak on this? Then, like, I done DM like pages like, it'd be random ass pages like hits, Chicago hits or some weird shit like
Chicago
that.
Scene 88.
Like shit like that, I'd be like, fuck, why is y'all on here just making shit up? Who the fuck, like, if this shit was so accurate, why the fuck we ain't locked up for this shit? Like, why is you just trying to make money off our name? Like, stop doing that shit, bro. Then motherfucker be like, oh, y'all be self-snitching. I'm just putting out the information that y'all put out. Like, why the fuck, like, folks, like, what is you talking about? I don't know. That shit irritating.
If you're not gonna watch the King Von documentary for anything else, though, you should watch it just to see the way that he lines up, like the timing of certain King Von tweets and certain murders taking place, because it's kind of like astounding, like how close together certain things are, like very incriminating tweets. Like that shit is what I think put a lot of people over the edge of being like, okay, Von seems like he really did all the shit that they're saying he did.
Yeah, but who would know? That only niggas that know is nigga that was there.
You don't feel like some of the rappers from Chicago do a lot of self-incriminating shit though, like with the tweets and all that?
Yeah. A lot of niggas do that. That self-incriminating shit, that shit like a wave for real. But now it's niggas that's, like, it used to be just fans like, damn, like taking heed like, damn, he must be like that. But now it's niggas like making documentaries about this shit, like that shit going way out.
Yeah, it was one thing when it was Ack making 5-minute videos.
Yeah,
It's different
like,
when it's a 3-hour documentary.
Yeah, it's like, let the police do their job, bro. Like, if this shit's so accurate, why the fuck they ain't came lock this man up for this shit? Like,
Well, they would have
like, yeah,
if he was still alive,
like,
probably, right?
Why the fuck you, like, you want to press? It's like you trying to help them. Like, yeah, look, these bodies I'm talking about, this shit lining up. I want you to, like, you want now y'all doing the police job. Now it's like, now the police probably just sitting in their office just watching documentary. Like,
But one thing about Traplo Ross is that before Von died, basically somebody, and he didn't really get specific about who it was, but they were messaging him and threatening him and making it clear that they were going to take his whole YouTube channel down if he didn't delete certain parts of his Von video that was out before he passed. And the one thing that they were like demanding that he delete from the video was the shit about KI. Like they didn't care about every other thing that Traplo Ross was putting on him, but that was the one thing they were trying to avoid. And that is the one thing that the Chicago PD basically says that they would have already indicted him for if he was still around.
they said they would have indicted him for that.
Or that they would have charged him with her murder, yeah.
Yeah, I doubt it.
You don't buy that?
No, that's the thing though. Like they was gonna try to indict him for that murder.
They was gonna try to indict him.
If he was alive right now, Von probably would be in jail.
He would have beat it though. Like, why the fuck? I don't know.
Not saying that he wouldn't have, but I'm saying the police was.
I don't really know, man. They probably would have put that shit on a RICO or something to make it look good. But if they would have charged him with that shit singly, that shit wouldn't have stuck. But I don't know. That's just like with K.I. They said they be saucing her up, making her look like she an assassin and shit. I ain't never heard about it. Everybody who even talk about her, like, man, who the fuck she killed? Like, what the fuck she do? Like,
You don't buy it about her? Maybe you haven't watched enough documentaries.
Like, you got to think about it. Like, I'm really from Chicago, so
Right.
you gonna know who doing what and who not doing shit. Like, that shit gonna speak for itself. So, by me, like, I ain't never heard nothing about that.
But do you respect the fact that like a huge percentage of the drill rappers that were trying to make it like 10 years ago have become vloggers, or like J-Mane becoming like basically a comedian? Like, do you kind of respect that people are taking these different career paths now that...
Yeah. I don't know. I probably seen that shit in J-Mane, because J-Mane wasn't never really street like that. Like, he ain't never no nigga. Like, he wasn't no, like, he was a 1 foot out ass nigga. Like, he ain't never was really street for real. Like, he was just guilty by association type shit. Like, you could tell he just guilty by association, just, like, you growing up a little Reese, then beard, and then you all of a sudden just end up on the opposite side. Like, what the fuck? How the fuck that shit even happen? But, you know, I know him, like, being in Chicago, like, he ain't really street. Like, he ain't really, like, so by him being a blogger, like, I won't say it like no pat on the back or he get a clap. Like, because that's some shit I expected, because he was already on the straight path in my eyes. He was just doing shit, making people think he like that, but he ain't really like that.
But I think if you're going to compare J-Mane to anybody, it's kind of Charleston White. Because I think he saw Charleston White sort of playing like a character version of himself and realized that he could do that and just like hype his shit up way more. And
No.
you don't see it?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know nobody like Charleston White. I don't
Yeah,
I
he one
can't.
of a kind.
Really a
Yeah,
fan.
he like, I ain't gonna lie. I be really paying attention. I watched a couple of his interviews. I watched his DJU shit. I fucked with that. I've seen a lot of his say cheese shit. I don't know if y'all interviewed him, but I see him like
He
I
hates
see
me.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he don't fuck with
He talks shit about me all the time, and that's why I hated that sometimes I'll end up watching an interview clip with him, and I'll be like, damn, this guy really is like a fucking genius.
Yeah, like everything he do, like his he like it. That nigga calculated for. That's one thing I noticed about him. Like I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with him, but J Man though, like just like being in Chicago and just slipping through the cracks of like not having no cases or not catching no gun case, and like he got his gun license and shit. Like once you see niggas like that like escape that type of shit, you got to question like you was either over lucky or you weren't really super all the way street. Like it ain't that many niggas that didn't catch no case.
But how do you feel about him basically like profiting off of telling all these stories, whether it's Fredo shooting at him or whether it's seeing Tay Savage shoot at people and shit like that?
I ain't gonna lie, he taking that shit too far. That shit weird. I wouldn't be talking about no nigga shot at me. Like even if you like trolling or none of that shit, I'm not saying nobody shot at me. I'm not saying who shot at me. You gotta say that type of shit in third person. Like you ain't supposed to be saying that type of shit on no interview. Like they laughing about that shit right now. Like certain niggas like probably benefiting. Like oh yeah, that shit making me look cool. Or if a motherfucker get on the interview and say I shot at them, I'm gonna be like, bro, what? Like what type of time you on?
Right.
Like why the fuck would you say that? I won't even that shit. I'm not even laughing about that type of shit.
Because you put a big disclaimer in that 16 interview where you were like, we ain't never did nothing to nobody. We good kids. We ain't doing shit. Like a big disclaimer in the middle of the interview, even though like so much of the other shit you said in the interview is like basically kind of going in the other direction.
He said God be doing it. God just bought a switch and everything.
God takes these people's lives. Yeah.
God do.
So what was your relationship like with Mad Maxx? Lil Chris.
That was my boy, man.
He one of the ones that they talk about all the time. I know you seen documentaries and all that shit about him. Or seen his name come up.
Yeah, but I ain't gotta watch no documentary because I already know him. I don't really be watching this shit. I ain't never seen nobody make no documentary about him though. I probably seen the Chicago scene, but he another nigga with that narrating ass voice. I can't watch that shit, bro. That shit irritating. I see that shit and I be like, I just go to the part that like, where somebody call me like, man, he said some police shit on this part. I be like, let me see, man. Let me see what he talking about. And I be like, man, this nigga weird. And just cut that shit off. But that's bro though.
How do you feel about people saying that like on his deathbed that he might have gave a statement when he was like I know you've seen people talk about that all the time.
I swear to God, I'm so tired of that shit. They steady talking about that shit. Like, I'm gonna just say this shit. Like, I'm gonna just say, bro, wrong, cause he know what we signed up for, like getting in this street shit. But like, let's just say your sister just getting, like your sister getting a train ran on her on camera or some shit.
Dear Lord.
And then, like somebody like put the video out, and then you live with your sister though, and then you like it's either you could like walk around saying like, man, my sister a hoe, or you could just let everybody in the neighborhood like, man, yeah, his sister a slut, like yeah, she easy and shit like that. Like that's what niggas gonna say. And you gotta let these niggas say this shit, cause this was really like this shit ain't no lie. This shit the truth. She on camera suck a dick, he ain't getting fucked by 2-3 niggas. So what the fuck is you like? This your sister? It's either you finna say, hey y'all stop talking about my sister, or you can agree with everybody and say, man, my sister a slut. Like, but this your blood sister. Like that's how I'm looking at that shit with him. Like this, I look at him like a blood brother. So I gotta let everybody else troll, even though he wrong. I know he wrong. involve myself in no snitch shit. I don't fuck with that shit. I'm not finna get on no fucking internet saying, oh yeah, bro, this my homie is snitch. This what other niggas supposed to say. That's their input. They ain't wrong for saying that shit. I'm not finna be joining, getting on their bandwagon saying the same shit they saying. Even though I know they ain't wrong for saying this shit, they want me to say this shit because I'm tweaking with niggas. I'm got the interview playing with Herb, or I'm saying Tay 600 is snitch. So when this shit come out, they want me to be like, oh yeah, you being biased and shit. Like, why you ain't say this shit about your homie? What the fuck is I'm supposed to say about my homie? This y'all job to say that shit. I don't supposed to be saying that shit. I don't get no fuck what y'all say. That's y'all opinion.
So did you know Tay 600? Because you was one of the people, because, all right, so Tay got mixed people saying that he snitched and he didn't snitch. And then I think you went on DJU and you said, fuck all that, he did snitch. So, like, how do you, because a lot of people saying he didn't snitch. So how do you saying he snitched?
Right. I don't got shit against Tay 600, man. I just seen the interview, like somebody just asked him about the Mad Maxx shit. Like, he like, yeah, that's up for his homies to say. Like, he know what type of nigga I'm is on some street shit. I don't know. I ain't gonna say he's scared or no shit like that. I know Tay 600. Tay 600 was a gangster, like, before the snitch allegations and shit. But he know, like, he know I ain't lying. I ain't finna, like, I ain't got shit against him. Like, before I put that shit out, I DM'd him and said, you know I'm about to call your ass a snitch on this interview. I ain't just say that shit. I sent that shit to him. I told my homie. I DM'd him and I wasn't following him, so I'm like, he ain't finna see that shit. So when I got out of jail, one of the guys was following, I'm like, damn, y'all still following dude? I'm like, tell him I'm finna say something about him in this interview. When my homie told him, he like, man, why you coming at me for? I ain't never got into it with him. I ain't never did nothing wrong to him. I'm like, bro, that shit not cool, for like, you got somebody in jail for 40 fucking years.
But how did he? Because the thing is, they saying that he took his statement back or something.
Man, listen, man, ain't no taking no statement back once that motherfucker there. You said it, bro. That's all it take is a statement to get locked up. Like, if he shoot me, even if he ain't fucking shoot me, I could call the police right now and say, man, Adam 22 robbed me. And they gonna believe me. That's all they need. That's a statement. That shit strong. All that taking shit back, by the time you took it back, somebody in jail already. What the fuck you mean? He took it back. It's already, the damage been done already. That shit gonna take a minute for you to get out of jail now, unless you got some bond money.
So somebody did actually go to jail behind what he did?
Yeah. But he ain't the only one, like, did some weird shit. It was bitches and shit that, like, made false statements and shit.
And this was for the Rondo #9 and the C-Day case, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a relationship with Rondo or C-Day?
Nah, I fuck with C-Day. I ain't never was really close to Rondo, though.
What about anybody from 600? Like, y'all was friends? Or?
Yeah, I fuck with D-Rose. I fuck with Booker. I fucked with Jess Blow, too. I fucked with C-Day, L.A. And shit. E-Day. I fucked with E-Day, too. And a couple more of them.
And was these, like, relationships y'all had, like, when the rap shit was going, or this is grandma
Yeah.
shit?
No, that was just, like after we, like, linked in and shit. I started fucking with them off that.
I need everybody to check out NoJumper.com. We officially started a blog. It has in-depth articles about current events, music, etc., plus all of our content in terms of podcasts, interviews, etc. And you can get some exclusive new merch if you check out NoJumper.com. So make sure you tap in.